Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Frontal Access Podcast. I am your host, Steven Russo.
I'm Anthony Gonzalez.
Let's fucking get it. All right, y'all. So, UFC 308 is this weekend. The episode is out right now as you're watching this, or if you're watching this after the 308 pay-per-view is done. Feel free to laugh at us or praise us in the comments of that video. All right, I uploaded the 308 pretty fucking late, y'all. That's my bad.
I mean, we still always have the backup.
We always have the backup Max Holloway special that I don't think my viewers even think is real.
It's real, I swear. I was here, we filmed it.
We did film it. It's just not out.
It's just outdated, too.
And it's also outdated because we made that before the whole BMF title fight. So
Yep.
It was actually in anticipation for it. So, and then I failed to upload it before UFC 300. So,
I was saying maybe after this we'll, do another one and we'll, tag it on top of that. We'll have the before Bad Motherfucker belt and the after he gets his championship.
yeah. Anywho, so, before we get into the contents of this fucking podcast, yo, Pepsi, you know what to do. You know what to do. Hit us up. Fucking, Front Row Access 15, gmail.com. Go hit us up. We want that sponsorship. We love your products. And, please send me money, because I'm a broke college kid.
And we grinding every week.
Every weekend is bitch. We are 45 deep to this point, guys. That's insane. That's just insane. So, yep. 308 podcast is out right now. Go ahead and watch that. If it's after 308 that you're watching this, feel free to laugh at us in the comments. So today's something a little bit different since the fight card I didn't think was particularly noteworthy. The only thing I'd be able to talk about would be the main event, and that's only going to be a 20-minute discussion. We're going to do something a little different today. So, at the time of this recording, it is Friday, October, 24th? 25th?
25th.
October 25th. And Venom, The Last Dance, just came out in theaters the other day. Linkin Park just dropped a new song yesterday. And, so we're just going to go over that shit for you guys today. We are an entertainment podcast, after all, although we are very heavy MMA-based.
They feel like you pulled the wool over their eyes. They're like, wait, it's not MMA?
Yeah, it's not MMA, guys. I talk about other things. I can talk about other things. It's not just MMA and wrestling, guys.
Yeah, look up our country, look up our NF. We got all that.
Oh, we even did a Linkin Park special when they came back initially about a month ago with the Emptiness Machine song and our feelings on Emily Armstrong joining the band.
And we did Linkin Park special before that, too.
Yeah, before Emily Armstrong was even in the band. So, we got a lot of Linkin Park on here. We got a lot of NF on here. We got that country episode, and I don't know what the next music episode is going to be, but we're going to fucking figure that shit out. But let's start off with a little Linkin Park, huh? All right, so Linkin Park over the weekend just dropped Over Each Other, their third single off of the album From Zero, and along with Emptiness Machine was their comeback song. Then Heavy as the Crown followed a couple weeks later, and now we have Over Each Other, and I think that's going to be the last single that they release until the album From Zero is out November 15th. And bet your ass we're going to be doing an album review, album discussion on that one. That's going to be mandatory. I might put it over UFC that week. I'm just saying. So, actually, I don't think I can. That's the John Jones card. Oh, God, that's going to be a busy day. Oh, that's going to be a busy week. Oh, boy.
Non-defending champion?
The non-defending champion is going to be defending his title against somebody that's been quasi-retired for about 3 years
Supposedly, if we see them in the ring, and it's shut, and the bell rings.
Mm-hmm.
Only on those conditions.
Till then, John Jones isn't fighting. Anyway. But who is fighting? Khamzat Chimaev is weighed in, and he made the weight, but this fight still isn't happening, guys. Okay, Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev is not happening. Even though Khamzat made weight, it looks like it should be willing to go. It's not happening. Not until they're both in that fucking ring and the cage door is fucking closed.
Listen, we gotta be careful with these. We saw someone pull out fucking 4 hours before a fucking fight, okay? So
fucking Brian Ortega made my fucking podcast completely outdated at that point.
So we've gotta be careful what we say. The fight isn't happening just yet. It's suspected to be happening. They are weighed in correctly. They will be trying to get into the octagon. We will see then.
And Khamzat actually was the last person to weigh in. It got me worried for a minute. I was like, oh no, I'm getting flashbacks, dude. But anyway, back to Linkin Park. So we have 3 singles out from Linkin Park right now. We have Emptiness Machine, Heavy as the Crown, and now Over Each Other. Over Each Other is a significantly different sound than both Emptiness Machine and Heavy as the Crown had to offer, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad song. It wasn't a bad song at all. And also, it was the first song that featured only Emily Armstrong's vocals. There was no Mike Shinoda raps or anything else in there. No Mike Shinoda singing, no rapping. It was purely Emily Armstrong, which is great for Emily fans like us. But it's also great for Emily haters because then they have something else to hate on. So I guess everybody's happy, right? So yep. So Emily, man, how do you feel about Emily's performance on Over Each Other?
I really liked her. I liked seeing what she could do. I like that it's not in the comfort zone of what everyone's expecting at the moment. Everyone's like, "Oh, prove yourself. Let's see what you can do." Some people like us are giving her a chance and are liking what we see from them. Other people are just bashing, just to bash. Honestly, they don't want to change from the old ways and whatnot. But I also just remembered the other thing. Didn't Emptiness Machine just get confirmed as the World Series?
The official theme song of the 2024 World Series games is Emptiness Machine by Linkin Park, guys. The ML fucking B has put Emptiness Machine on their soundtrack, and it just got recently confirmed. Obviously, at the time of this recording, is the first game of the World Series. Los Angeles Dodgers, New York Yankees, best of 7. We'll see how it goes. Go Dodgers. Anyway,
Yeah, I got the Dodgers for that too. I know we don't really comment
we don't
MLB,
commentate
but
on
we got Dodgers.
sports in general outside of MMA. So and none of us really watch sports outside of MMA.
Well, we got that crossover though. That quarterbacks and be doing an MMA match.
Oh Jesus Christ! I hope he's training, man. Bro, once that fucking quarterback feels a leg kick, dude. Oh no. I got hit in my my peroneal nerve during sparring the other day. And my whole fucking leg went numb. I had to go to the doctor, make sure everything was all good.
Timber.
Yeah, I could. My leg is still numb, but it's
No, getting back to where we were. So to me, this isn't such a strange move. Hearing Emily by herself. It's a showcase, really. And you don't want a lot of the same things. I know you're gonna get into how these songs all are kind of like this and whatnot, but for me, and because you guys know I'm a stan, even though you don't know how deep that shit goes, it's a lot like hearing Haley's song. It's like it's not what you expect, but it's not bad.
yeah,
But
it's not necessarily a bad thing. Haley's song was definitely different. That was a good song.
yeah,
But at the same time, we have with Emily on this track by herself. It was nice because I mean we've been seeing the ways that Emily can like use her voice. Like all 3 singles, she displays her voice in a different way, which I'm extremely excited about because then that leaves me to wonder how the rest of the album's gonna sound, seeming as Emily has different vocal like strands. On Emptiness Machine, she sounds different than on Heavy as the Crown. She sounds different on Over Each Other than she did on Heavy as the Crown and Emptiness Machine. So, I mean, we're just seeing what Emily Armstrong can do with her voice. And I gotta say, man, this girl is one hell of a clean vocalist, dude. Like, hearing, like, the studio recording, I'd love to hear her sing it live, but Linkin Park's on break from their tour right now. Not resuming just yet, but I cannot wait for her to perform that song live. I want to know how it sounds just from her. No Mike Shinoda producer magic. Not that there probably was much of any to begin with, but every song you hear is going to be edited in some way. So I'm extremely excited to see how that sounds live, and I'm extraordinarily happy that Emily Armstrong has excellent clean vocals, excellent screaming, and can blend well with Mike Shinoda. We saw how well she blended with Mike Shinoda on Emptiness Machine. We saw her screaming abilities on Heavy as the Crown. Obviously, she had that crazy 16-second scream right at the end of Heavy as the Crown. And then we get to see her clean vocals here on Over Each Other. And I am just enthralled by it all. And I love it. Now, it's just like, it's different. Definitely different. I'm still, even though I've been very, very highly, like, I've been praising Emily Armstrong very highly. I'm still not completely used to seeing Linkin Park and hearing Emily Armstrong yet. But it doesn't mean that I dislike Emily Armstrong. It's just the fact that I've been listening to Chester on Linkin Park for years. But I said it on the Linkin Park special when they came back. I'm all for it. I miss Chester, but I think the band made the right call in wanting to move on, and I think Emily Armstrong was a great addition to the band. Now, back to what you were alluding to earlier on From Zero. I can tell you that from what I'm seeing, just because I'm a fucking Linkin Park nerd, street soldier for fucking life. I've listened to every single Linkin Park album. I don't know how many times over now. So, if you want to know any song from any album, I got you. I could probably tell you even where it is on the track list. It's that fucking bad. I don't know if it's an OCD thing or if I'm just a giant fan. Could be either one. Could be both. But what I'm noticing, at least with this album, and I think they're going to do with the entirety of the album and what we've heard of it so far, is they're taking like parts of every album and putting it into a song. Because Emptiness Machine, when that came out, I instantly thought of the sound that came with Minutes to Midnight. That sounded very Minutes to Midnighty, and I absolutely loved hearing that. And I could make that comparison just because I know how each album like distinctly sounds. I can't really explain to you how it is like in detail with like onomatopoeias and shit, but like um I could tell you like the identity of every single album and how like the vibes are. And Emptiness Machine gave me Minutes to Midnight vibes. Heavy as the Crown gave me Meteora vibes. And this one, Over Each Other, gave me One More Light. So that's what I think they're actually going to do with this entire album. They're going to be taking like little tidbits, like those little sound profiles that they have on every single album, and just putting it in there with a new twist. Obviously, it's going to be a new twist already because it's Emily Armstrong. But they're going to be using every single one of their sounds that they've used to this point, and it's just going to come together in this gigantic medley. I absolutely cannot wait for From Zero to come out November 15th.
He's
But
gonna be listening to that 3 times in one day, back to back to back,
three times, Anthony.
minimum.
3 times minimum. I'm like, bro.
I'm talking at least.
I'm like,
3 times
bro.
back to back to back. I don't know what you're scheduling in this day, but
Fucking cleared. I only have one class at 2 p.m. that day. So bet your ass that album's getting woo the whole day, probably the whole week, whole month. I don't know, maybe the whole fucking year. Is because I'm just super super happy that Linkin Park's back, and I gotta say I've been really impressed with what we've seen from Emily Armstrong to this point, and I'm looking forward to this album even more than ever now. Now that we've gotten like all three parts of her vocal and how she fits into the band, I gotta say Linkin Park's comeback to this point has been a gigantic success. I'm giving that bitch a fucking 9 out of 10. What are you getting? What are you giving Linkin Park to this point as far as their comeback's concerned?
so honestly, I'm very cautious with how I rank things. This is gonna sit at 8 out of 10 until I hear the rest of the album.
Fair. Anyway, so yeah, super excited for From Zero. Mike Shinoda, Emily Armstrong. If you want to hop on the podcast, let us know. If by some slim chance you fucking find us on YouTube,
Hey, there
we'll have you on.
Wide world.
We'll have you on. We will. And you can drink fucking Mountain Dew and just talk.
Here's what you do. We'll go by the degrees of separation. We're gonna make TikTok shorts of this. Share them with who you know. Have them share with who they know, and it will reach them.
Hopefully we can get it to them. Honestly, if we can get Mike Shinoda on the fucking podcast, that would be like, dude, I don't think I'd be too starstruck to be a host at that point.
Well, I said we could get it. I don't know if they'll come on, but they might comment on it.
If they
We
comment
might
on
hear
it, bro.
back from then.
If I get a comment or even just a measly like, brother, I'm fainting. Brother, I am fainting. Okay, like I'm gonna go super Steven fangirl, and yeah, that's how it's gonna be. But another big news that happening this week. Now that we're moving a little bit away from the come on, you soundboard. There we go.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties here. Anyway, so moving on now, we have the Venom trilogy going down this weekend. Just came out, and I am super excited for it. You guys know Venom. And if you guys didn't know, I think we've alluded to it a couple of times on the podcast, but we are fans of Marvel. We just think they're in a fucking dunk right now. Yeah, or they're just in a fucking dunk right now.
They hurting. They hurting.
They hurting for
What
certain.
is this? Phase 5? Whatever it is.
Phase 4 was a fucking flop aside from No Way
Yeah,
Home, man.
Falling apart at the seams. I really hope they turn it around.
I mean, I fucking love the Marvel franchise, man, but let me tell you something. I got high hopes for this Venom movie coming out, though. And this shouldn't even say coming out. That has come out already.
That we will probably be seeing later tomorrow, after the pay-per-view.
After the pay-per-view, of course, which we're going to be making reactions to the fights on there.
We'll probably do a reaction to the Venom movie, too, at the end.
Yeah, fucking why not? Let's do it. So, I mean, I love the Venom series. It's one of my, I know a lot of people are, like, kind of critical of it because they don't like the whole portrayal of, like, a comical Venom. I'm like, that's, like, the best part. Or, like, anything like that. Oh, it's supposed to be dark and scary. I'm like, not everything needs to be fucking Batman porn, okay?
And guys, just because I can, and this is a time when I can plug it, Eminem did a whole theme song about Venom.
Exactly. Brother, on the Kamikaze album for the first movie, he has a song literally titled Venom for it.
They even found on top of the Empire State Building. Come on.
On top of the Empire State Building. And then on top of that, wasn't there, didn't he also do Last One Standing for Venom and Carnage? With Skylar Grey and Polo G?
Honestly, that is one of my favorite songs from Eminem, especially recent M. I know some people don't like it, but for me, that's definitely one of my go-tos.
Hey, man. I mean, he kind of just hopped on there with such a nonchalant flow, and then it just fucking ate on, like, every level. And it just, the way he rapped it made it seem like he just did not give a fuck.
Really, it's so easy.
And, you know, Polo G's over here, like, fucking killing it. Skylar Grey's using her excellent vocals on the chorus, and then you have Eminem.
I got close.
So, it's just one of those things, man. I mean, it's just so Eminem, and I love it. And then, yeah, guys, so Venom, obviously, our first movie came out in 2018. I came out in my freshman year of high school. It was, like, my first, like, big, like, high school night out was to see the Venom movie, all by myself. My mom dropped me off at the fucking mall, and then we walked over to the movie theater afterwards. Good memories. I had a lot of my early high school friends go to it with me, and it's just a memory that stays in my head. I absolutely love the Venom series, and I'm also big into, like, journalism. Shock. But
just with two of your
yeah.
freaking...
I write for my college's newspaper, the Good 5 Cent Cigar, URI, shout out. And I also wrote for my high school newspaper, The Entry, shout out. And my first article that I ever wrote for The Entry was on Venom 2018. It was a film review. And I looked back at it recently, because they keep all the archives on the website. I look back at it, oh god. I write so much better now. But at that point in time, I, like, poured my heart and soul into that film review, making sure it was really, really good. And I did the best I could for the time that I had and the skills that I had acquired to that point. But now I look back at it and I'm like, oh. I write much better now. And I'm sure I'm going to look back at all my college paper articles that I write as, like, a professional journalist one day and be like, oh. But, you know, that's just nature of time. It's evolution. But I love the first Venom movie so much. I own it, and I watch it all the time, and I honestly really loved... I'm not going to give you, like, a synopsis of Venom 1. You guys know it by now. If you haven't, watch it. But I absolutely love the Venom movie, the original. I mean, sure. It wasn't, like, the greatest thing ever, but it was one hell of an introduction. It wasn't, like, the greatest, like, rising action to conflict and all that. It was, like... It was a good introduction to the series, and it made you fall in love with the characters, gave you an understanding of how the symbiotes worked, and how Venom's dynamic changed from wanting to eat the Earth to now saying, I want to defend the Earth.
I was going to say, I like how it wasn't just a copy and paste of all the Venom we've had until then. He's his own thing, they're doing their own thing, and I appreciate that a lot. It's very easy to recycle content.
I mean, look at what Disney's been doing for the past, like, 10 years now.
I try not looking at Disney for anything.
Yeah, so, I mean, even with Venom, man, it's just obviously, these films follow, like, the Lethal Protector comics the most, where the symbiotes come to Earth through the Life Foundation. They wanted to do the research on them to see if they could further human evolution, and, but, it's not like the original Venom that we saw in the Sam Raimi trilogy in the third movie, when it kind of just came to Earth via meteor, and then latched onto Peter Parker, and then latched onto Eddie Brock.
Have to put on a hell of a dance sequence.
Yep, he had to put on one hell of a dance sequence, Mr. Tobey Maguire. I fucking love that series, though. On God, I mean, a lot of people hate on the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy never came out. Phases 1 through 3 of Marvel would not have happened. That was like the first, like, that in the X-Men movies were like the first time like a superhero movie worked.
Yeah, I was gonna say when we were going back on about how we're big Marvel fans and how his face is just looking really awful. I think honestly they're rushing it too much because like the way that the Avengers assembled and everything from start to finish, that's I don't know the exact timestamp, but that is probably at minimum 6 to 8 years of them just solo films that have little tie-ins that you wouldn't catch right off the bat, and then when they do all conjoin, it's just something to see. And I think that's why the Avengers was so big. And this new phase, I feel like they're just trying to put out like, all right, here's 8 Marvel movies. You got to watch all of them in order to see how they tie in with how this next guy is going to show up. And we're giving you 8 more next year.
And like you said, like it's like they're rushing it, and it's also an overload. They're putting a lot into it. There's like information overload when it comes to the Marvel films nowadays. It's like, yeah, like you said, they release like 8 every year, and you have to have the Disney Plus subscription to understand some things. And just not everybody can do that, man. Okay, some of us are broke and can't do it. So, or we don't have a family member that has a login. So, not that we do that or anything. I pay for my own account completely, but it's just it, it's a lot. It's like Marvel's asking you to do a lot than what they give you in return. It's like they have a lot. It's like a quantity over quality thing. Like they think if they're putting out more content, it's gonna be better. But they're putting out more content. There's gonna be good stuff in there, like Loki. I know you're very big on Loki.
Yeah, that fucking TV series that they had on Disney Plus, probably the best I've seen since Endgame.
Yeah, and
that's kind of sad.
yeah, it's pretty bad. Nah, I mean, No Way Home, the Spider-Man movie.
No Way Home was very, very good too, but it's because right now it's so messy that the fact that that was good is as surprising as it is. It's like, okay, they can still pull it off, so why haven't they been doing it?
Yeah, it leaves more to be desired.
Because like immediately after the Endgame, you had these 3 series come out.
Yep.
They were Scarlet Witch,
WandaVision, it was Loki, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, and Loki really, I bit that, like, I took that, hook, line, sinker. That was a great series. I watched WandaVision 2. It was a bit slow to start, but it got very good towards the end, and realizing the situation they were in, and we've got to get back to subject, so I'm going to quickly wrap this up. And I'll be honest, Falcon and Winter Soldier, it didn't have me. I didn't bite on it. I do plan on finishing that before I move on, but since then, disappointment. Holy shit, Spider-Man's amazing.
And then disappointment. And then hopefully we say, holy shit, Venom was amazing. But even then, that's not even MCU.
Yeah, that's like Sony. Same thing with Deadpool. Why I can't wrap that in with that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. But the first Venom movie was excellent at introducing the characters. It was excellent at, like, showing you the dynamic between Eddie Brock and Venom. And you got insight on both Eddie Brock and Venom in a very good way. You see their motivations. You see how they evolve, how they struggle to, like, bond with each other at first, and then they eventually reach that understanding, like, excuse me, yeah, we got each other.
And this character, it's really good seeing how it doesn't rely on, it used to be Peter Parker's suit and whatnot. It has its own origin because there's a huge following for Venom. Like, he is a character that people know and will buy merch from. And I'd say there's a decent amount of people who would like him more than Spider Man. So it's good that they kept them apart for so long.
Yeah, because then it gives them their own spotlight, like you mentioned. But like it or not, Venom's always going to be tied to Spider-Man in some way, shape, or form. So eventually, they're going to need to get the ball rolling on getting this Venom involved with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, which I think that might be the route they're going down. Yeah, sure. This is the last dance, and Tom Hardy has confirmed that this is going to be his last Venom movie. But does it actually spell the end for Venom? I don't think so. Just they have well established Venom to this point, and maybe some point in the film they get Eddie Brock or Venom into the sacred timeline, and then maybe we get to see Tom Holland get into it with Venom, get latched onto. But it could be the end for Eddie Brock, but is it the end for the symbiotes? No. There's a million symbiotes that you can make movies off of. There are some that we have Toxin coming in this next one. We've seen Carnage already.
Riot was there.
Riot was in there. Riot's fucking sick, by the way. He's one of my favorite symbiotes. But and then obviously Venom. But we haven't seen Scream yet. We haven't seen Anti-Venom yet. We haven't seen any of those guys. And there's plenty more fucking symbiotes that can be added into the franchise whenever they can. But speaking of other symbiotes, and I just mentioned Carnage a second ago, Venom and Carnage, man, that shit was fire, bro. I mean, granted, the circumstances that we originally saw the movie under weren't that great. I'll be honest. But not gonna go into heavy detail. But weren't that great. But then I would go back, I rewatched the movie, and that jit is fire, dude. Like, I mean, it follows Eddie Brock once again. He's with Venom, and then Carnage has been born because what the fuck is dude's name?
At the start was Brock was trying to get a scoop, and the serial killer would only talk to him and Venom. And then once they found the actual location for the bodies, he's gonna be put to death, and he bit Brock and got that bit of symbiote in him.
And that's what prevented him from dying. And then Carnage was born as serial killer was getting killed. I can't think of the
I can't.
Cletus
either.
Clay. Is it Cletus Clay?
Yeah.
I,
Cletus sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think it's Cletus something. And I think it's Cletus. Yeah, we'll say Cletus. Cletus is a serial killer, and the motherfucker bites Eddie Brock and gets a bit of Venom blood in his blood, and then Carnage is born. And then if you guys know about symbiotes, if you don't, I'm gonna let you in on something right now. Symbiotes don't reproduce in a very in like a sexual way. They don't sexually reproduce. They're not mammals. They're blood spawns. So what happens is if a bit of one symbiote gets into the bloodstream of another, or latches onto another host that's stronger, their offspring is born, and the offspring is always stronger than the parent. So Carnage was stronger than Venom, but of course Venom finds a way to expel Carnage. But you know who's going to be even more powerful than Carnage? Toxin, because Toxin is the spawn of Carnage, and Carnage is the spawn of Venom. So, do you see the dynamic and the power ladder? Yes. Cletus Cassidy. Or is it Cassidy? Cassidy. Cletus Cassidy. There we go. Thank you, Isaac, in the studio audience. So, he's always coming in clutch with the fact checks. But,
by the way, guys, just a heads up while we're talking here, we have no notes for this. This is on the fly.
Oh yeah, we're just talking, bro. There's no structure at all. We're just going.
If you like the format, let us know. If you think there's stuff we can improve, let us know. We always enjoy the comments and the likes, and the engagement is always appreciated.
Even if it's bad engagement. Hate away. That would be significantly less on my plate if I don't have to write in notes for every single episode. I've written notes for 44 episodes to this point. So, I mean, if I don't need to do it again, and you guys like this more kind of loose, free-flowing conversation more, just talking about shit off the top of our head, then let us know. I'm a little lost, though. I mostly use my notes to keep myself on track. When I'm in a free-flow state, my brain tends to go...
Hence why we almost skipped right from original Venom to Last Dance until we remembered Carnage.
Yep. So brain goes everywhere. You know, ADHD, attention spans are very low at this time, and so yeah. But Carnage was an excellent movie. Venom and Carnage was actually like really good. I mean, Venom original is always gonna have a place in my heart, and I'm always gonna like Venom original the most, I think. But arguably, like logically speaking, Carnage was a better film. Like by on every cylinder, it was better. But I don't know. I have like a special connection to that, to the first Venom, because it just reminds me of my freshman year of high school, starting that, and it was like brand new for me because like I was going from a private school that was rather protected to a public high school, so that was a big change. And this was like the first thing that I got to do like in my new school environment, and being surrounded by different people that weren't the same people that I've always been going to school with. So that's why Venom's always gonna. And plus, I love the song Venom, by Eminem. So when that came out, bro, I had that shit on fucking repeat. I got all of my cousins sick of that song because of how much I fucking played it. And you can ask Isaac in the studio audience here. You can ask my other cousin, and bro, I played the shit out of Venom. I love the music video for Venom. I love the song. I love the movie. It was my first ever journalism story, and bro, that the original Venom's always gonna hold a special spot, just because of the circumstances of when it came out. But Venom and Carnage is the better film. I will tell you that. Like objectively, it is better, and hopefully, The Last Dance is even better. But it's never, ever, ever topping that for me. How'd you feel about Venom and Carnage, man?
I liked how it opened up the world of Venom. Introduced us to a lot more characters. There was the mutant who was also partnered with Cletus there. I think she was Screech or something, who had like
Yep.
supersonic vocal range.
It could make you deaf.
We're doing. We were good with spoilers, right? We're good talking about spoilers.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And that's eventually how they stopped. You know, Carnage at the end was getting her because, fun fact, the symbiotes are weak to very few things. One of them happens to be sound frequency.
If I believe it's anything over 1600 hertz makes them go insane.
That and fire.
High pitched sound and fire are the weaknesses of a symbiote. So yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
anything
it opened
over
up the world. It put a shine on Eddie Barquez himself because of his journalism, how he's doing. Showed us that there's a, I guess, West Coast Daily Bugle. Granted, this is part of. Is it 2166? The timeline they're in.
688.
688. And so in that one, yeah, obviously it's a different, timeline and whatnot. And that's what helped keep it contained until the crossover, obviously, with No Way Home and whatnot. And then he got sent back.
And then he got sent back.
the-
I was like, oh boy, we got Venom in the MCU. I'm so excited. And then they fucking teleported him back. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Well, at least we're getting one more Venom movie. And then maybe we can bring him into the Sacred Timeline, have him mingle with Spider-Man a little bit. No, no homo. But, it's just, yeah, no, I fucking love the Venom movies, man. They're excellent. I'm a big fan of Venom in general. Even when I was a kid, like little Steven watching Sam Raimi's trilogy of Spider-Man, that Venom was not the best Venom in the world. I will be completely and totally honest with you. The Venom in Spider-Man 3 was not the best Venom in comparison to what they were able to do with Tom Hardy's Venom. But I loved Venom, even when I was a kid watching that terrible version of Venom. It was a good introduction to the character, but I think to understand the world of the symbiotes and just like you said, open up Venom's universe in general, because also in that film you get a glance of like how they reproduce how they are able to multiply, what true symbiosis is, because symbiotes are all about finding that perfect match. Eddie Brock just happens to be the perfect match for Venom, and and other guy, which I know I just learned the name a minute ago. Forgot
Cletus
it. Cletus.
happened to be the best match for Carnage.
Carnage. Wow.
And what was it? Officer something for Toxin?
Yeah. I forget the name. It began with an M. I don't remember what the M was though. But that is the perfect bind for Toxin. And Toxin, I'm excited to see Toxin in The Last Dance because it's been confirmed that Toxin will be in it. And the god of the symbiotes, Null, is going to be in it as well. So
That sort he has a serious business.
that sword he has his serious business. It is. That thing ends worlds.
And gods.
Ends gods. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the Venom trilogy. I'm upset that Tom Hardy's not going to be playing Eddie Brock anymore, and but all good things must come to an end at some point. Isaac, guess I'm mad. Patrick Mulligan is the officer that Toxin latches
Binds
onto. So, thank you, Isaac, for the fact check once more. And so all of them are going to be in it, and it should be exciting. But out of 10, what you rate in the first Venom movie?
9.
9. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I'd give it a 10, but there's always room for improvement. So I usually don't rank things at 10 unless it like truly is a fucking 10 out of 10. But what about Venom and Carnage?
I'd say 8.5.
8.5 for that one. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I'm gonna give it a 9 as well, just because I love the dynamic that between Carnage and Venom there. That fight scene at the end of the cathedral was epic. But yeah, I don't know how The Last Dance is gonna be, but overall, this series has been like really, really positive for me, and I'm super excited, and I hope The Last Dance doesn't let us down. Speaking of letdowns, I heard Joker sucked.
Yeah! Big ass dung pile at the box office from what I hear.
Did you ever read the spoilers on it?
Nope.
I didn't either, but apparently, I'm not gonna say anything on here because I don't think I'm too qualified. I haven't read all the spoilers yet, but I did read some, and from what I read, it's some bullshit. All right, it's some bullshit. But I've heard that Joker absolutely fucking flunked at the box office. Even in my school's newspaper, The Good 5 Cent Cigar, bro, somebody did a film review on Joker and said no one's laughing about the new Joker movie. So I'm like, that was like the headline. I'm like, oh shit, somebody didn't like it, which sucks because Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker in the first Joker movie, like Joker 2019, was fucking excellent. That was like superb. I loved it. And I had such high expectations for this one, but man, it looks like I'm not gonna have them fulfilled. And I'm not about to pay some money to go and buy. I'll wait till it's out on some streaming service, then I'll watch the Heredity from there. But as I still want to see it. But I heard it sucks so bad, so I'm not gonna
just
want
because we hear something bad doesn't mean we're not gonna see it.
But it's just it will vouch as to whether or not I pay to see the movie. If I hear it's bad, or if it's a movie that I genuinely was just kind of questioning on seeing, and I hear it's bad from somebody, I usually wait until it gets to a streaming platform, then I'll watch it there. I am going to watch Joker 2, but man, I'm not gonna pay money for it. I do want to see it though. I don't think Joaquin Phoenix is gonna come back as Joker after that. And I don't think they'll tie him with the new Batman, Robert Pattinson, because I think they already have a Joker set up for
Yeah,
Robert Pattinson.
they wanted to keep it separate.
Batman.
Like
So.
the Batman came out and Joker came out, and they were like, different timelines. These are different things. They will not intersect with each other.
Yeah.
And so then they went out of their way and Joker to prove it by having, young Bruce Wayne at the gate.
Young Bruce Wayne at the
They
gate.
did not want these things to mix. And we'll see. I mean, it seems like the sequel to Joker, massive flop, massive criticism. Let's see about the sequel to Batman, whenever that comes out.
I mean, the Batman was fucking cool. I love that movie, man. That's one of my favorites that I've ever seen. Robert Pattinson, of all fucking people, actually like did a stellar performance as Bruce Wayne in Batman. So I mean, I fucking love the new Batman movie. That shit was sick. I mean, obviously nothing's gonna top that Dark Knight trilogy. I don't think. I think that's just a masterpiece that will just never, ever, ever, ever be topped. But goddamn, Robert Pattinson with the Batman came pretty fucking close. I gotta say, it's better. I already like it more than Christian Bale when he played Batman in Batman vs
Ooh.
Superman. Oh, let's not get into. I want to get into Batman vs Superman.
That's that red stepson there.
It's a redheaded stepkid.
Yeah, that's a redheaded stepchild there.
And the fucking Justice League too, bro. The Justice League from DC, off of that universe, that Batman vs Superman, that horrendous fucking movie. All right, it's been 8 years since that movie came out, so I don't give a fuck about spoilers anymore, brother.
Martha! Martha!
Why did you say that name?
Martha!
What the fuck? I fucking hated that movie so goddamn much! Batman vs. Superman was 3 hours and 15 minutes of my life that I'm not gonna fucking get back. Ever! I fucking hate it. I wasted my Easter to see that atrocious fucking movie that ended. It didn't even end with a definitive ending. Guys, Batman was kicking Superman's ass, okay? And then, as Superman's laying there dying, because kryptonite, fucking he said, Martha. And then when Batman heard Martha, his mother's name was Martha. Superman's mom, Earth Mom's name was Martha. He was saying he had to save Martha. And that's how they fucking teamed up. I'm like, so you just ruined the entirety of Batman vs. Superman. The only time it was Batman vs. Superman was like 5 minutes at the end of the movie. It was nothing but build-up. It was a 3.5 hour long trilogy for the fucking Justice League.
Well, see, the thing is, here's the thing you gotta take into account. There was an extended cut you had to watch out of theaters with an extra 19 minutes.
19 minutes of fucking what? Of fucking what? Is the Snyder Cut really that fucking good? Guys, that era of DC movie, I detest. The only thing that was good that came out of that era of fucking DC was Wonder Woman. The original Wonder Woman. But then Wonder Woman 1984, whatever the fuck, that shit blew! I'm like, ugh. I'm only watching the second one for Gal Gadot anyway. But, dude, Wonder Woman was excellent. The original Wonder Woman was insane. Loved it. The second one sucked. It was terrible. Justice League, terrible. The Snyder's Cut, I don't give a fuck that it's an extra 19 minutes. I don't give a fuck. I bet you that shit was just as terrible as the original minus 19 minutes that was there before. Justice League fucking sucked. Aquaman fucking sucked. All of it. DC. What the fuck? DC. What the fuck? But then you make Joker. And I'm like, yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is awesome. Yay. DC's gonna actually have a good film now. Then they fucking release Black Adam. I'm like, why is The Rock in a fucking superhero movie? The final boss! Playing the ultimate final boss! And then that movie sucked. But then they released Batman. And I'm like, yes! Yes! This Batman is excellent. I fucking love it. Let's see what's next. And then Joker 2 comes out.
Maybe,
Headphone user warning. DC, what the fuck?
maybe they just can't nail sequels. You know, Wonder Woman was good. Wonder Woman 44, whatever, blue. Joker was good. Joker, whatever the fuck that is.
It just
blue.
fucking say Joker 2.
it also blew. Maybe they just suck at sequels.
At this point, that's just probably what it is. But I'm like, I know you guys are fucking capable of making a good movie. If you guys have not watched the Dark Knight trilogy, please watch that shit. Like,
Get all the executives there to watch their fucking trilogy.
Watch that trilogy. Now do that again. Man of Steel sucked. That was another movie that blew. But dude, I'm so torn with DC, man. I really am. Because Marvel was consistently putting out bangers for years. And then now they've become more like DC. Where they have one fucking really good one. And then followed by like 4 bad ones. Or like a bad one. And I'm like, bro. DC, fix your shit. For the love of God, fix your shit.
You didn't like Apocalypse and Steppenwolf? You didn't like them?
No. Why the fuck was The Rock in a fucking superhero movie? Why the fuck was Jason Momoa playing Aquaman?
Well, because they knew their target audience.
True.
It wasn't of our gender.
No, it was of the female gender. But, guys, I'm being really critical with DC, but I actually really do love the DC universe. I do. I'd argue that I actually like their stories more than Marvel. It's just every single time I'm watching a DC film, I have to go in with such neutral expectations. Because it either can be really, really fucking good, like the Batman, like Joker 2019, like the Dark Knight trilogy, like Wonder Woman, or it can be god-awful, like Batman vs. Superman. Or the Justice League.
Oddly enough, with DC, it seems like, this is me just being hypocritical, like 1/3, maybe that's pushing it also, of their live action is good. 2/3 of the animated is good.
Oh my god, the DC animated shit is sick. I fucking love the DC animated shit. The animated Batman the animated series was fucking sick. Even the Batman and Red Hood, that was a good little animated movie. The Harley Quinn show is hilarious on DC Universe. And like their animated shows are like elite. They just can't do live action. And it's not a matter of casting. You're getting like A-listers on there. You're just not giving them good lines. And you're not giving them something to build off of. I'm like, an actor or actress can only do so much because they're confined to the script. And if you're not writing a good script, how can the actor portray a good character? You know?
You're saying Martha wasn't a good line?
Anthony, I already almost shot my vocals screaming about how fucking bad Batman vs. Superman was. Do you want me to go again?
Fair enough.
Do you want me to go again? These poor headphone users are probably still trying to clean out the blood from their ears because I just screamed. Hey, I held back here while I was screaming, but it doesn't mean that it still didn't pick up a whole lot. These mics are pretty good. But,
you know what? Maybe we should watch The Killing Joke. I hear that one's pretty good.
Killing Joke is really good. I watched that one. Dude, DC's animated shit is fucking sick. Like, I've almost never had any complaints about any of the DC animated shit. Like, bro. DC, take some notes from your fucking animation writers to make a good live action script. I know you can do it. You have made godly movies like Wonder Woman and the Dark Knight trilogy, the Batman. But man, dude, you gotta give me some consistency here. Marvel's in a decline. Now's your time. Your time's ticking.
Take center stage while you can.
Take center stage while you can. A time's already been ticking for 4 years now. And they're gonna make a comeback. Marvel's gonna figure it out at some point, or at least me, the consumer's gonna hope they do.
I think they're just gonna buy out all the writers.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, they might just do that and just call it a fucking game. But, man, regardless, though, we have veered so far beyond Venom. It's okay.
I mean,
we're still on topic,
DC Marvel, you know?
We're still on topic. It's just...
Does DC pull more from your Dark Knight, less from your Green Lantern?
Oh, my God. Oh, Anthony. Oh.
What's that?
Mamma mia, pizza pie, stick it up my ass. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why'd you have to remind me that Green Lantern existed?
Because Deadpool makes sure I never forget to.
Oh. Oh, That's another one, man. Oh. Ay, caramba, si no puede. No, I can't. No se puede.
Oh,
No me
shit.
puede.
Oh shit, he's done for the day. Find his English circuit.
Oh, dude, don't watch Green Lantern. Don't watch Green Lantern. Any of it. I think they made 2 of them. Why the fuck did they make 2 of them? Was the other one straight to DVD? Oh, dude, why'd you have to remind me that terrible film existed? Oh my god, it was like legit. I don't know if you can tell by my reaction. I genuinely forgot about that movie because of how fucking bad it was. Now everything's coming back. And I only have you to blame for that. So I mean, fuck. I'm sitting here in my fucking John Cena shirt, crying over Green Lantern. Oh, mamma mia. But Jesus Christ, yeah, don't watch Green Lantern. Don't watch it. Just don't. It's fucking terrible. It was such a cool concept. It really was. And then just sucked. And I like Green Lantern. He's one of my favorite superheroes. But then his movies suck. I'm like, okay, this is fine. Oh yeah, let's also on the note of bad fucking DC films, The Flash.
The Flash.
Oh man, he couldn't. That shit sucked. Then wasn't who's the lead actor? What's his name? Some fucking bullshit guy that has a lot of he like raped a lot of people. I'm pretty sure. Trigger warning.
He was probably at a Diddy party.
It might have been. But yeah, but whoever the main actor in Flash was fucking piece of shit. And the movie wasn't even good. So like I can't even like separate the art from the artist because the art is just as shitty as the artist. So I'm like, ugh, fuck all of that. And I know they can write a Flash character well. The CW series for the Flash, fucking excellent. That shit awesome. But not the movie. Not the movie. And also, Shazam.
I was gonna
Shazam! Shazam! Disappointment. That was such a poorly written movie about Shazam. Oh man, it was such a poorly written movie. I can't believe I actually watched that shit in theater. Dude, I had, brother. But damn, bro, DC man, DC. I know you're capable. I know you can. You have excellent stories. You just need to fucking figure out how to write them when it comes to film. You nail it on the head when it comes to the comic books.
See, another problem I have with these, and I'm also gonna bring Star Wars into this, just because of this. You say they just need good stories to have. They've got them. They've got decades worth of storylines.
Excellent stories.
Decades. And they just refuse to put that on the screen for us.
I mean, like, bro, just make that comic book a movie. It's pretty easy.
It's literally panel by panel. You can see how it's gonna play out, and it'll sell.
It'll sell like fucking crazy. I mean, the new Batman comics are very heavily based off of the Detective comics. The one with Robert Pattinson, I'm pretty sure that's off of the Batman, the Detective comics.
Yep.
So, I mean, bro, shit is sick. But, you said you were bringing Star Wars into it. How are you bringing Star Wars into that?
Because Disney does the same thing when it comes to the Star Wars trilogy. With
Oh my god.
Canon legend.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Like, this is severely off topic, but I just found out I was never too huge into Star Wars.
I was.
He was. He's helped me catch up on some of it. But I recently found out about, is it, Leia? Yeah, Leia's Jedi training. She has a whole comic series afterwards where she trains with Luke.
Yep.
And I'm like, so you want strong female characters, obviously, because you're trying to diversify, and I get it. So why did you make a made-up one when you had
Princess Leia, right? Fucking there!
The storyline, the storyboard, the comic, it was a book. You had it all written for you. And instead of using this source material, you're gonna shove crack down our throat.
Dude. I will always defend Force Awakens. Force Awakens was excellent. But Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, man. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't want to get into it too much, but I think you guys know what I'm going to say. Fuck it, dude. This is an entertainment podcast right now. We're just shooting the shit right now. So, fuck it. I'm going to go into it. Dude. Oh, dude, the sequel trilogy. Let me introduce you to the sequel trilogy. It's December 2015, and Force Awakens is about to come out. Force Awakens comes out and fucking kills Han Solo. Sorry, spoilers. It's been 10 years. You should have seen it by now. But almost 10 years. but they fucking kill Han Solo, which I guess that's fine. Harrison Ford didn't want to play Han Solo no more. So I mean, made sense. But you nail it with Force Awakens. Force Awakens was excellent. I fucking loved Force Awakens, and I'm always going to be praising that one. That's the one part of the sequel trilogy that I'm always going to talk highly about. But Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, want to talk about non-creative writing, if you want to talk about appeasing the woke mob, that is exactly what those two films did. Oh, and creating mad plot holes that only like the truest of Star Wars fans would understand. You know, uh, Palpatine came back. A lot of people that were just getting into Star Wars at that current time, because a lot of people were getting into Star Wars when the new ones were coming out. Makes sense, right? A lot of people aren't going to understand why he's back. You know, not everybody knows that the dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities, some consider to be unnatural. But not everybody's gonna fucking know that, especially when they only have Force Awakens and Last Jedi to build upon. And on top of that, Last Jedi, the way they portrayed Luke Skywalker at the beginning, oh my god, dude, drinking the green milk from the fucking whatever the fuck animal living on that island, him just completely abandoning the Jedi because he had a bad feeling about Kylo Ren or Ben Solo, then him just crumbling everything that he fucking trained for to be this little fucking hermit on an island living and doing whatever the fuck really ruined Luke Skywalker.
And this is canon, right? Disney stuff is called canon.
Yes.
In Legends, he goes on to return the Jedi Order to once it was by getting new younglings to train and, reevaluating and reprocessing their their beliefs and what they care for in the Star Wars universe. And now you got him drinking some milk.
Now you got him drinking some milk. Now you got him chopping some firewood. Brother, what?
You got the guy who refused to play into Palpatine's hand and kill his father. Touch his heart and get him to turn on his former master and Sith Lord, the Palpatine. Turning on a little boy? The fuck are you on about?
Bro.
The fuck are you on about?
On God?
Sorry, a third time. The fuck are you on about?
It's so true. It's so bad, and now you got to do drinking milk. Like, and it ain't even blue milk, bro. It's green milk. I'm far nastier. But, dude, I mean, they did allude to it in the trilogy, but I would have loved to see the sequel trilogies, instead of making it so many years later, just follow Luke Skywalker. The writings were right there. There were comics right there. You could have easily casted somebody else to be Luke Skywalker. It would have been a little difficult to associate that person with Luke Skywalker and not Mark Hamill.
Now let's get CGI Luke Skywalker.
Hey, I mean, the CGI Luke Skywalker in Mandalorian is fucking excellent. But I don't think they had that technology then. So, like, and I'm just talking like 10 years ago, which is insane to think about. But not even like to that point. By the time Mandalorian came out, when they had the CGI Luke Skywalker, 2020 that came out. Force Awakens was 2015, so that was like a 5-year difference there, and they were able to make like a really good CGI Luke Skywalker. But dude, it was right there. There were so many Legends comics that clearly and like distinctively said what Luke Skywalker did. You could have made the sequels off of that. You could have focused it on Leia training if you wanted to put a woman in there. That's fine too. It just, why'd you go with Rey? I mean, Rey. A lot of people hate on Rey. I'm not necessarily a gigantic Rey hater. I'm not. I hate the fact that she called herself a Skywalker. Other than that, Rey's character isn't completely like terrible, at least to me. But I think if you are gonna use Rey, at least use Finn a little bit better as well, because Finn, he was an excellent character too. He's an escaped First Order stormtrooper with all the information on the First Order, and he just escaped it because he felt like it wasn't, the way to be. Like, dude, you know how much depth Finn had? We could have totally seen like an origin for him. We could have seen a Star Wars series like they did for Rogue One, which Rogue One is absolutely excellent. If you haven't seen that one yet, watch it.
I was gonna say, you're jumping ahead. They might still do a Finn origin story.
Yeah, but at this point, they misused Finn so badly. I don't even know if John Boylston wants to even do it again. Because to be honest, all they did was just put him in here to say, "Hey, look, a black guy." But I mean, I don't mean no, obviously no racial, but like, hey, look, we have diversity. That's literally all Finn was there for. And I'm like, you have an excellent character with Finn. Lock in on it and do something with Finn. Maybe give Rey a little bit more of a reasoning why she wanted to find her parents so damn badly. I feel like they failed to set that up. Obviously, we find out later on that he's the spawn of Emperor Palpatine. That she's the spawn of Palpatine. But, I'm like, there's so many other things that they could have done better, and they just didn't do it. They just didn't fucking do it. I mean, they just didn't do it. And it made me really, really sad.
Maybe one of these days they'll do a Star Wars dive, because I'm currently catching up on my Star Wars and just made 14 Clone Wars, and I know there's still, Rebels, Bad Batch, all that stuff afterwards.
I have a tough time with Bad Batch. I'm gonna be honest. I have a tough time with it. It's not a bad series. I just can't get through it. It's a little boring to me. I know I'm probably gonna get flamed for that in the comments. People live and die by Bad Batch, and I can understand why. Bad Batch is really fucking good. I like the fact that they're survived clones that didn't get inhibitor chips, that were made without the inhibitor chips, rather didn't turn on the Jedi. Now they're trying to make their way around. And they have some excellent scenes, excellent stories. I don't know, man. I just get really bored watching that one. That's me though. I'm gonna get flamed for that so hard. That's a hot take that I have. Bad Batch, I mean, I like it, but it's kind of boring. You know, like when you get the action and you get the character depth between them, and you see it, then it's really, 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 really fucking good. But like, bro, I can't just fucking watch Bad Batch. Like, it's bad. It's not, well, Bad Batch isn't bad. It's bad the fact that I can't pay attention to it. That's what I meant to say. But Tales of the Jedi was really good. That you got to see Count Dooku's descent into the dark side. Tales of the Empire I haven't watched yet. I'm going to get to it. Obi-Wan Kenobi, on the other hand. A lot of people are critical of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I fucking loved it. I loved every second of it. A lot of people are like, why didn't he follow Luke? I'm like, you need to get an explanation why Leia knew who the fuck Obi-Wan was and Luke didn't. Because, I don't know, did you guys watch New Hope? I bet you did. Fucking... Leia said, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. And Luke's like, who the fuck's Obi-Wan Kenobi? That's his sister, Leia. So you had to get an explanation as to why Leia knew who Obi-Wan was. So I think that's why they had to highlight little Leia. And, I fucking loved Obi-Wan. Every second of it. I don't know why people are so hypercritical of it. I'm gonna be honest. Mandalorian's excellent. Book of Boba Fett's in.
I just remembered a scene I didn't want to remember when you said that.
What?
Leia just deciding now's the time to show I can fly through space using the Force.
Last Jedi. 2017.
You just said Leia, and then I remember the last time I actually saw it was
Bro, just
a Mary Poppins.
I don't want to go too far into Star Wars because then I'm just gonna go off on a gigantic.
That's why I left it open. We can do a Star Wars dive some other time.
Yeah, but we did a pretty good Marvel dive today
Yeah.
and DC dive clearly.
So that was our coverage of the new Linkin Park song, our coverage of Venom, our coverage of how
Yes.
that's gonna fit with the Marvel universe,
and just the state of Marvel and DC in
and
general.
how DC is performing against their competition.
Yeah, it's just the state of both of the companies.
With a little bit of side jabs at Disney and their utter ruinification of Star Wars.
Yeah, man.
You know they're gonna cancel us.
Yeah, I mean, us the consumers, man, have a right to tell you when a product's bad, and that's what we just did. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you like this free-flowing, like, kind of entertainment podcast. You know, if you want us to do a lot more things like this, open with music, then we'll go into certain franchises.
Yeah, well, it will spitball and roll into, from the music to the current movie to the overarching, brand that is comics to what we find wrong with how things are portrayed currently.
Yeah, this is just a really experimental episode because I thought the fight night that's coming on this week, by the time this is uploaded, just fucking sucks. Yeah, the only thing that's worth talking about is the fucking main event, and that's not enough. So I like this. We haven't done an entertainment podcast in a minute. So thank you guys for tuning in. Maybe we'll do some deep diving on some other things at another point. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Leave comments to let us know.
Later, guys.